Davido reacts as APC member mocks him after tribunal granted Oyetola's request to challenge Adeleke's election. Nigerian singer Davido has been involved in an exchange of words with Dada Olusegun, a member of the APC, who mocked him over his uncle Ademola Adeleke's court woes since he won Osun governorship election. On Monday, the Osun State 2022 Election Petition Tribunal granted the ex parte applications filed by Governor Boyega Oyetola challenging Adeleke's victory. On hearing the news, Davido expressed shock via his official Twitter account, and a tweet screen grabbed his post. And he literally just said, wait, 2 question marks, 2 laugh emojis, and says, wow. When Dada Olusegun, who vied for the position, for APC National Youth Leader, saw the tweet, he mocked Obio. He declared readiness to join others in generally drag the DMW boss. He tweeted, "Ishokam Smolly, can't wait till they start dragging when he drops his banger for Baba, I go follow dragam." In response, Davido gave a savage reply, making a reference to the time Olusegun cried at the APC National Convention after he was asked to step down his ambition to be the youth leader. A video which had gone viral weeks ago showed him crying on stage while announcing that he was stepping down from the contest to be the party's national youth leader. Davido called Dada a dummy and said he would have used a crying emoji, which reminded him of his emotional display at the convention. And he literally just said, "You should have used the crying emoji," and he put it there. "Reminds me of something, dummy." That's what Davido said. Meanwhile, the Election Tribunal ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to release Osun election materials used at the poll to Oyetola and the APC for inspection. Well, anyone is going to trust INEC at this point. I think, to be honest, we can even have arguments on, debates, presidential debates, but I think the biggest enemy here is INEC, because really, they're going to submit what for what? If he won, he won. What is the problem? Obviously, there's been some, saltiness, or I guess tensions with, Davido and his uncle, I guess, because in 2019 they felt cheated, and apparently they did win, and obviously I'm not sure of the details, but they ended up not being in power, and so now they actually won, which was pretty big. The celebration was huge. Davido, being an instrumental part of his uncle's campaign and all that, so it pretty much was a very big thing. And so it's very funny because Davido's savage reply was pretty much savage, to be honest. So I guess this individual who had to step down in contesting for an APC National Youth Leader doesn't really have much to say. How can he reply? You can't really come back from that if everybody saw you crying from your emotional response anyway. But really, to be honest, I think INEC is... leave this conversation, to be honest. This is just back and forth. But the real issue here we need to talk about is INEC. INEC is the biggest enemy here. And really, INEC has the power to manipulate results. So what is to say that, who is to say that they could not, put 2 and 2 together and try to make things wrong? Of course, the Nigerians will explode. But it's very funny because then they release the Electoral Act, just under a year before elections. How convenient. It's very, very, very shady. But I think INEC is a bigger problem we also need to face. Because then if you also look at the results that could potentially come from this tribunal, we could actually see that they could then change the outcome and then give some judgment with some technicalities and say, by the way, maybe, the APC candidate actually won. Shouldn't be like that, but we'll see. Even the law court cannot save Oyetola at this time, though he has a right to challenge his defeat anyway. He does, but then INEC, please. What is wrong in the decision of the court? A verification is necessary. See with your eyes. Oyetola is a cheat. He should also accept defeat this time. The last time the court gave it to him, he should quit and stop being greedy. Well, it seems like everyone seems to be on the side of this individual. And yes, I was right. Obviously, everyone in the comment section is, they're recalling the last time. And, this individual says, last election, Adeleke won Osun governor, but APC and INEC rigged it for Oyetola. So the same people vote for the same person, and now you're saying you have another excuse for the second time. Just go home peacefully. Do not let them kill you there in this government house. It's very sad. I mean, he's won. I don't understand. What else do they want? And again, it's not a thing where, okay, in secret, they in 2019 they secretly tried to manipulate. It was obvious. Everybody knew. And the same thing again, they have won. Adeleke won. Clear cut. I mean, what do you want to argue? I don't understand. I mean, I think he won by a very large margin too. I think by over, I mean, I must say large, but when it comes to vote, I think over like 100,000 votes, around 100,000 votes. So I think that is pretty, it's pretty massive. And so really, if they're trying to argue it again, I mean, obviously it just shows greed, and there is no how. Yes, they can. He has a right to, Oyetola has a right to challenge, Adeleke's victory, but what would be the result of that? Another manipulation? Because it's like, oh, you're not asking for records from who? INEC. When you partnered with INEC the last time. Come on. But again, obviously, these are Osun elections, and to be honest, we need to put this to the side. Adeleke has won. If they don't like it, it's sad. It is what it is. We move. But I think what also we need to talk about is INEC. I don't know how, but I'm just like, how do we hold these people accountable? Because obviously they cannot move anything, to be honest. What can they do if overwhelmingly, a candidate wins? They can't fight against it, because the result will be overwhelming and too obvious for anybody, and we'll just see, what, they've won this thing. What's the point? But it is it is interesting to see how it's gonna go. But really, we shouldn't focus on this. That idiot mocking Davido for nothing is suffering from abject poverty. Because Davido and his family will rule for a good 8 years. Go and check Buhari's comment. Wait, what? Okay, I get. It's funny. Davido is not the person in position, right? Yes, he supported his uncle, and for his uncle's campaign, and he's very much passionate, and obviously engaging in conversations like this obviously shows, he's involved. But you can't say Davido and his family. At least even say, his uncle Adeleke and Davido's family will be in power, not necessarily Davido himself. I mean, well, I guess that's what happens when you're in influence. Why wasting this time? He should better accept defeat. He entered governor's office with the fraudulent act formed by his godfather. Well, why can't this man just resign to fate? Again, and obviously it's not. We see the kind of leader. I mean, desperation is real, and you can really see that desperation is really a theme. It's a value of the APC, because I mean, not just with their presidential candidate, but then look at this individual as well. Like, you don't have to win. It's okay. Like, how else do you want to put it? You don't have to win. Everyone does not even believe you are deserving of a position anyway. Put what you think about this in the comment section below. And do not forget to like and subscribe.